potential new client recently reached out saying that they wanted their website to look like this. This is montfort.com. I'm going to leave the links to everything down below and turn down that music so you guys can actually hear me talking. But this is an insane site. You can scroll around the hero header, and as you scroll down as well, or as my mouse interacts here, we can also move down further into the site. Now you will notice that it is slightly laggy, so you have to keep that in mind, but you can move around the entire time this website. So I'm gonna keep scrolling down, and then I'm gonna go up here into my three dots. I'm an ARC browser, by the way, RIP if you guys know, but I'm gonna click on Wappleizer, and we're gonna see that this is actually built using GSAP. So you can achieve this kind of interaction using GSAP. For those of you that don't know, GSAP was recently acquired by Webflow and is now for free, but GSAP is basically a JavaScript library that allows you to do insane things, either in 3D, in 2D, with text, with images, and in this case, with incredible experiences like this. But this is just one of the websites that I want to cover in this video. The next few are not going to be this crazy, so click away now if you only wanted to see this one. But the next one is grotesquely.xyz. It has this interactable asset on the hero header here. I'm guessing that this is just a OBJ file that has been embedded into the project. And this one is built using Framer, if I'm not mistaken. So using Framer sites. So it is cool that you can build this kind of thing with Framer. I remember when Framer was still a super basic builder and people didn't really take it seriously, but now it is winning a lot of awards, which is incredible. And you can do some really nice looking projects on it. So this is just a simple portfolio site, and I want to cover some other portfolio sites here coming up in the video, but this is just a very simple font portfolio site that allows you to showcase whatever you're building. In this case, we can have some nice images, we can have some links, we can showcase all the different styles, the variables, and of course, because it is Framer, you can pretty much build whatever you want. So super nice that we can have this, and in this case, we can interact with it. We can see that it is narrow, we can go wide, and you can do that with these mouse effects. Super duper cool. Another one that has these kind of 3D elements, I'm going to reload here so we can see, is going to be meet.framer.media. So this is a showcase of this designer's capabilities. You can see that it won an awards nominee, but we can actually grab this 3D asset and move it around just like we can with the other one. Now, I will say that it is kind of like a cool thing, but it could be overdone if you start to see these very similar interactions all across the websites all over the world. But in this case, I mean, it is like a nice hero header to just see, interact with it, and then keep scrolling. So as we scroll, we see that we have a lot more 3D interactable elements here. If we click, it doesn't go anywhere. We see that these are images that have been turned upside down and 3D'd and all that. And that's important because we're seeing that this isn't just a video that was done on After Effects and then imported. We see that this is an actual file that someone added and then created that 3D After Effects style animation on the actual static website. Now, after that, we get this stackable interaction, and I actually want to see which website is built. So it's Framer as well, super cool. So it's nice to see, again, I remember when Framer was just that upcoming thing and no one took it seriously, but I said, no, I didn't. I'd like to be the one that says, I remember, I did say it, but I don't think I did. Anyways, more of that same interaction. It's the same one that we saw in the previous one, which is quite interesting. So we see that up here. So I wonder if there's a library out there that has these, and I'm just the last one to realize it, probably. But anyways, that's totally fine. I like this small interaction here where we see that there's this small animation down there inside. Oh, very cool. I didn't see that before. All right. We have two more websites, and I want to start off with this ceramics portfolio. It's cool to showcase different ones, not just UI UX, because maybe it inspires you in a different way. If it was just looking at websites all the time of website designers, then you wouldn't get inspired to do something different. I don't know if it was Christo or someone else that said that the best way to get inspiration is to look not in the exact place that you're trying to get it, but somewhere else. Like, for example, automotive design or product design or whatever the case is, and then you'll get inspired in some other way. I like this one because the layouts are a little bit more unique. Usually with portfolio sites, we go very standard, very boring, if you will, just showcasing big images, which I love. But in this case, we have very unique looking layouts. We have this scroll feature here where it allows us to see these images in some larger context. And then we go on to this next section here, which allows us to see some more images, and we can click on learn more and see a nice little portfolio collage, if you will. we can say bring your collage home, and then allows us to type in our contact information to get the pieces delivered from this artist. And then lastly, I know I said that it's important to not look at UX portfolios. Well, here we have a last UX UI portfolio. This is a little bit more abstract, not necessarily as clean as the last one, which was more kind of like a white-washed kind of style. This is a lot more techie, almost like it reminds me of Tron a little bit, if you guys ever watched that movie. It kind of reminds me of Tron. And what's interesting about this one is that it's a portfolio, but it doesn't have many images. The portfolio itself is kind of the project without having to put the actual image of the project. You know, the website itself is good enough that you can kind of see that this guy is a good designer, or girl, I'm not sure. But that's cool that it kind of goes up into that staircase. That would be very hard to do. No idea how they did that. Very nice. You can see that it's text as well. I like to always see if it's text or not, because then you can see that it was actually created on the website and not, I don't know, After Effects or Premiere Pro or something like that. And then down below, we get into the actual portfolio, showcasing some of the images. That's quite interesting to me that it's so small. This thing here, I don't know if you can see on my screen, but it's so small here that I would like to see it a little bit bigger. Obviously, when you click it, it's going to take you to the project itself, but I don't know, it could be cool to see it a little bit larger. Anyways, those are 6 super creative portfolios. I hope that you guys enjoyed all of them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take a look at all of them under the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.